Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my Zane setup I use to speedrun the takedown. Now, as you can see, we have some takedown footage in the background. I'm just going to comment on it while we watch, and I'm going to tell you guys like my gear loadout, some of my strategies, and some stuff you want to know. Now, a lot's happened already. You can see we're using the yellow cake for those first couple guys. And then we just hop straight in and we start nuking everything. Now, a lot more happened while I was talking, and if you guys paid attention, I just start nuking all of the spawns. Those first guys, killing those first guys and those first spawns is pretty important for getting the Kraken to spawn. After that, you can see I'm just trying to nuke everybody I can. It's pretty much just a kill fest after that. You really want those very first spawns. Now right here you're gonna see we are using the back burner. Now the back burner is one of the best rocket launchers. To be honest, it possibly has the potential to out damage the yellow cake. It's that powerful. Now for those of you who don't know, the back burner only comes from Agonizer, and Agonizer is currently bugged right now. We'll talk about the back burner again in a second, but check out this shot right here. I went and stacked overkill with my Nukem, and we do this little Valkyrie skip. Now, you guys might not know what I did, but I actually, look how Hildur is half health. If you destroy the very first Valkyrie shield, before all the Valkyries land, you can actually skip some of the Valkyrie phases and you can damage them. And so this is a technique I use to speedrun the takedown. You guys notice I use the ion cannon and I charge it as I'm falling. And look how we get double spawns. It's because we skipped Hildur's entire first phase. And all I'm trying to do is get the third Valkyrie to spawn. So see how Hildur spawned? We're actually going to kill Hildur in a second. But I want to take care of Rada first because that's going to continue the phases. And as you guys can see, this Valkyrie skip is very, very powerful. Now, I know you guys are going to ask me again in the comments, how did I do this? All you have to do is deplete the first Valkyrie shield as soon as she lands. So as soon as that Valkyrie lands, you have to deplete her shield before the other Valkyries land. And that's why I use that ion cannon. Now, moving on, you guys are going to see me attempt my bridge skip. I always kill these first two guys before I attempt the skip, and that is for one reason that you guys are going to see in a second. Now, you guys probably see me attempt this skip all the time. Half the time, you pretty much just miss, so it's not always a good option. But the thing is, I killed those two guys first, and that is part of a different skip. When you kill those first two guys and you jump off the map, the gate automatically opens up. So we are kind of going for the big skip, and just in case we miss, we kill those first two guys and we get the gate skip. So a lot of skipping going on for my speed runs, and that's just how I like to do it. You don't have to skip. You can do that part of the takedown if you want to, but yeah, this is just my technique. Now, I just like to stack a bit of overkill, but you guys notice I go directly for those death spheres. Now, to open the gate back here, you only have to kill the death spheres and the dogs. Now, the thing is, you want to kill the other enemies too, because it keeps the spawns moving. But the only enemies that are actually required to die are the ones like that spawn back in this area. And you guys are going to see when I get the gate open that a lot of enemies are still alive. But yeah, I pretty much just go at it with the Nukem. We just go pretty hard, rocking the Nukem setup, like I said. This is the same exact skill tree, and by the way, I am going to show my skill trees and my gear at the end of the video. But I got to show the whole takedown run first, just to show you guys we did it in a pretty quick, decent time. Also keep in mind, a big tip, if your Nukem ever stops working, the Nukem does work in Mayhem 10, but it is very reliant on overkill, and you'll be able to tell if you don't have your overkill. On top of that, the badasses are extremely tanky, and they can take Nukem shots. So you just want to swap into the yellow cake. One thing about the yellow cake, the reason why my yellow cake is so powerful, for those of you who aren't too good with the yellow cake, it's because the yellow cake takes a bit of distance to shoot. Now, I'll talk about the yellow cake in a second, but notice how these gates opened, and there's still enemies over there. Like I said, you don't have to kill all the enemies. You just have to kill all the enemies that spawn over by this door. So once you're across the bridge, you only have to kill the enemies that are across the bridge. Now, of course, you want to kill a bunch of enemies to keep the spawns moving. And we are already to Wotan. Now, like I said, the back burner is one of the strongest weapons right now, but you can only kill Pain and Terror to get a Mayhem 10 version. So if you can't get a back burner, I recommend a Plague Bearer. And look how I am cycling these phases that Wotan has. As soon as I shoot one of my launchers, I'm already switching to the next one. Because these launchers have a bit of setup, so you can kind of pre-fire them. Look how I pre-fire this shot right here, and we skip this entire phase immediately. And he's going to jump right back down. Now, like I said, the back burner is super powerful. We're actually going to one-tap his last phase with it. Now, another reason I keep the ion cannon is to do double barrier phase all at once. So notice I get some overkill, and then I pull out my ion cannon. And watch, it's going to get both his barrier phases. The ion cannon is still super, super powerful. Now, I get rid of some of his shield with the yellow cake. Honestly, I was aiming for the top half. Now, keep in mind, technically it is a 2-tap, but the first shot misses. We did hit him, but the damage from the back burner comes from those pellets jumping off. So, see how we did, like, kind of one-tap him, but only because we missed the first shot. And same with the top half. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, sometimes the top half is a little bit hard to hit with the back burner, but when you can hit the bottom of him and those projectiles go up through his body, it's like an insta-kill. Now, I'm going to pull up these skill trees and the gear. I'm mostly just going to talk about the gear because, like I said, this is my Zane Nukem build. If you guys want to learn about that build, and I actually recommend other Mayhem modifiers like Slayer. I was using Speed Demon in this takedown setup just to do the speed run, you know what I mean? Now, like I said, we're using the Nukem. The 300% damage anointment is the strongest one possible, but I go over this in the Nukem setup. Now, the ion cannon is super important. Not only does this help us with the Valkyrie Skip, but we can also one-tap Wotan's double barrier phase on Mayhem 10. And keep in mind, this is basically unanointed against Wotan because he's under 90% armor when we get to his double barrier phase. So this is almost an unanointed ion cannon. Just keep in mind stacking overkill is important. So make sure to get a bit of overkill before you use your ion cannon. Next, we've got the back burner. Now, this weapon is kind of impossible for some of you to get, and in that case, I recommend the Plague Bearer. The Plague Bearer is your second best bet to this. A corrosive Plague Bearer. We're using Sentinel Cryo, which isn't very effective against Wotan because he resists Cryo by actually a lot. But you can see how much damage this thing does anyway. Now, this is a Mayhem 10 back burner, like I said, but you have to farm Pain and Terror for it. And then finally, we've got the Yellow Cake. Now, I didn't include this in the Nukem build because, like, you know, you don't need a build to make the Yellow Cake strong, but it is very good in this launcher's setup, and it's awesome for speedrunning the takedown and just turning it into a joke. Then, of course, I've got the one-shotter shield. Really important, you get corrosive on action skill end. It doesn't have to be on the shield itself. You can get corrosive on your grenade. On my grenade, I'm actually using radiation, as you can see. And the recurring hex grenade is very important. This triggers Seeing Dead, this triggers Brain Freeze, and I explained that in the Nukem setup. For the artifact, you only need a Snowdrift with AoE. A Snowdrift Vic Rush with AoE helps a lot, but like we're not even really taking advantage of this mag size. Like my Nukem is 1 in the mag anyway. All these weapons are like one-shot weapons. We're not taking advantage of the mag size, and of course the movement speed is nice, but you're really looking for Snowdrift, Vic Rush, AoE. That's the most important thing. And with our class mod, what's awesome about this class mod is my top rolls kind of suck, and my only damage is splash damage. The action skill cooldown rate is pretty much useless in this setup, and not gonna lie, the radius is of course amazing for mobbing, but as you can see, we are actually only running splash damage as our actual damage itself. So you don't actually require a lot of specific rolls on the class mod, to get this takedown run, and that's kind of beautiful to me. Besides that, I do want to mention, I didn't go over it in the video, but this is a cut purse right here in the inventory. We're running all launchers. I usually run the takedown without running out of ammo, but a cut purse launch pad to get back all your ammo immediately is pretty great. Now, I'm just going to show you guys these skill trees. Like I said, I go over this in the Nukem setup. If you want to hear details about these skill trees, check out my Nukem video. There's the drone tree. There's the clone tree. And here is the barrier tree. Now, like I said, with brain freeze, this does look like a weird setup for launchers, but this is the setup I use, and I explain all my decisions in the Zane Nukem video, so you guys should check that out. And finally, I want to talk about Mayhem Modifiers. Now, I try to avoid the immunity modifiers. I am using Speed Demon. Speed Demon allows you to pretty much one-shot with a Nukem at all times, and it's kind of insane. Now, I know Speed Demon is a little bit hard to control, but I noticed if you're just not sprinting and you just walk, it gets a lot easier to control. And I know that sounds just like a stupid tip, but it helps me a lot. And you kind of just get used to it when you play with it. You don't have to slide when you're using Speed Demon as much, except to get like maybe that first kill. And yeah, post-mortem doesn't bother me with this setup because death just gets blown up with every other enemy. And ticked off kind of sucks because the yellow cake and the ion cannon leave huge dots, but as you can see, it doesn't really matter. And I'm indifferent to the floor is lava because I'm always moving anyway. Now, that is pretty much it for the video. This is my Zane Nukem build, and we got like a 6.5 minute takedown, I believe. I'll update the title. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Comment with any questions or anything I can answer for you guys. I am always down to answer questions in the comments. And that is it for the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. I also stream a lot of this live over on twitch.tv/thickfillet_. And of course, join the Zane Nation Discord. Every Vault Hunter is welcome. Let me know what you guys think about this speed run. I'm using some cool skips. I'm tossing my barrier off the cliff to activate my action skill and anointments. We're doing some pretty cool tricks and tips. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one though. I'm out.